This is the Gamevice Flex. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. This is a made for Xbox or Xbox Cloud Gaming type of device, so it attaches around your phone with a number of different connection options. We're showing first an unboxing and then a bit of it with gameplay and action, so you can jump ahead to kind of see that if you want to get an idea of how it handles while I'm playing a game. So yeah, it comes with quite a few things. This is the upgraded Gamevice version. There's an offering for iOS, an offering for Android. It has a low latency direct connection and lightning pass-through, since I was using this with the iPhone. But I mean, if you're on, Android, obviously it's a bit different, right? There is also a nice little port if you want to use the 3.5 millimeter kind of option for, like, say, a headset or headphones, stuff like that. Pretty cool. So the concept is very similar to the previous Gamevice device that I checked not too long ago, but the Flex is a little bit more upgraded and flexible for different usages. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting, easygoing sort of offering for essentially your cloud gaming experience. You're able to take your phone, which was my iPhone, and you're able to fit it in there. It has a number of different offerings in order to make sure that it actually does snugly fit in there. You'll see that being brought up with that selection of cases. Kind of in the backdrop, I actually, when I was unboxing it, I showed that. So they have all these different form factor type accessories that kind of fit in there, slot in there, that allow you to use it, if your phone has a case, if your phone doesn't have a case. And it just kind of nicely, with the little gel layering there, kind of sits and holds your phone nice and snug, basically, so it doesn't fall out and that you feel it's safe. So there's the Xbox Cloud Gaming, which was the main focus, but you can use this for native applications as well. I was using Call of Duty Mobile, which you'll see a little bit later on. It just instantly connects. There's no sort of weird functionality thing you need to do or anything like that. It literally, once it's connected to the phone, you're just good to go. So it does come with a range of different options. If you're used to the Xbox controller, you're going to feel, I think obviously you can see it just right off the bat, that this is very similar, well, the exact same layout to the Xbox controller, of course being a partner and whatnot. It does have other cool features. There is, like, if you see the little square thing on the left hand side, you can take, a snapshot, with your phone, like a snapshot screenshot, which I thought was pretty cool. And yeah, it's just kind of got all the buttons and the functionality you would expect. It's decently ergonomic. It's fairly comfy to use. It holds nicely in your hands for extended periods of game time. If you do notice me being a bit more awkward with the particular controller, that's because I am using it in a different kind of like awkward sort of way in order to fit the camera over top. So my right arm is like very, very poorly set for playing. But I'm just trying to show it off so you can see it in action. But yeah, it's pretty easy going. I think it's really good for, anything you're doing, whether that's shooters or other types of, games that require you to actually be able to, have some level of control. The triggers are decent. The bumpers are decent as well. The D-pad was fine. The thumbsticks are actually pretty good, decently grippy. The buttons feel good. So overall, generally comfort level, I was quite happy with how that felt. As I had said prior, though, I enjoyed the previous Gamevice device that I had not too long ago to check out. This one seems more like a fine-tuned improvement on it. Again, with the Flex concept being a bit more of a, differing phones, differing case scenarios, friendly sort of setup. I will mention once, again, in comparison to the previous video I did, I do kind of wonder a bit about the long-term support of the back of the Gamevice. So, as you saw at the beginning of the video, it can be like folded in for, good travel, and then you kind of expand it outwards. And it's sort of like a somewhat thin strap on the back of the Gamevice device. I mean, I don't imagine it really getting pulled or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, if you have, younger ones that are using this, to maybe be a bit careful in the initial setup, because it is, just kind of a thin sort of fabric-y. Well, I don't know if fabric is the right word, but, it's kind of a thinner strap, and I do worry about longevity-wise whether or not that might get accidentally pulled a little bit, tugged a little bit here or there. But I think for the most part, you shouldn't have a problem, especially if you are handling it, all fine and whatnot. I don't think you'll have any issue using that, but it is just something that for, me kind of looking at it, I was sort of like, I could see that being the one stress point. Everything else is sort of like a nice hard, plastic. I don't think you're really going to have any sort of issues there. And then you've got the sort of gel rubbery kind of, grip things that fit in nicely. I think those won't have any issues or anything like that. I'm just thinking long-term wise, that strap, is kind of a thing. But it does, it does stretch a bit. It does fit in your phone nicely. I don't think you'll have an issue. There's a charge through port offering too. So yeah, it's actually a pretty snug, easygoing thing that you could, say fit. I think you could kind of fit into your pocket when it's all, folded in. Even if not, you can fit it in a bag or something like that really easily. Just for, on the go gaming. Whether you're doing that like with the cloud gaming or whether you're wanting something, again, for like say Call of Duty Mobile or, any sort of other offering on your phone where you want like actual proper, controls. That's really what it is. It's turning your phone into a gamepad without some sort of crazy thing. Like I've tried all kinds of Xbox cloud gaming offerings, where they have these like contraptions where your phone will sit on top of like your controller, like strapped to your controller. And, then there's obviously the Gamevice models. And I think this feels a little bit better for like, it's more of a phone natural sort of thing than just sort of slapping your phone onto a controller. Not saying that method is by any means not a good one to go with, but it just, it feels a little bit more comfy, a little bit more ergonomic. And I think it just kind of captures the controller well, while not being a full controller that you have to awkwardly lug around. I hope I can kind of get that across. So yeah, it's a nice improvement. It comes with all the different options and things I think you would need. At its core, though, for me, it's nice that it has that correct Xbox layout for the controller. It's got all of the different buttons you need. It should fit nicely on all of your different phone setups. The ergonomics are good, which will make your gameplay comfort better for a longer period of time. You've got the audio jack port. You can play it instantly with a wide variety of different, setups being experienced or present and kind of like set up with this. Obviously from native applications to cloud-based ones, with Xbox being the main focus, because this does also come with the month of Game Pass or whatever for trialing. But that's what mostly I'm trying to get across, is that like, this is obviously something that's marketed towards the Xbox cloud gaming. It works for other things. Like I said earlier, you literally, like Call of Duty Mobile, you don't have to do any sort of weird, awkward setup. It literally just works right off the bat. Same with Xbox cloud gaming. There's no weird connection or anything like that. It just works. It recognizes it. It knows what it's doing. And I'd say it handles pretty well. I was very pleased with this. I think it is a nice little upgrade improvement over the existing Gamevice devices. I think you will find it to be helpful if you are doing any sort of Xbox cloud gaming or any other types of shooter gaming or regular, other games. Show a lot of shooters, but you get the point of what I'm saying. Is just kind of functions quite well for those different offerings, and I think you will get something that actually delivers a fine-tuned, well-handling experience. I enjoyed using this. It was nice to have an upgrade already, because I literally just worked through their previous version of Gamevice not like a few months ago and whatnot. And then this Vice, I'm like, oh, okay, that's a nice little upgrade. That's a nice little improvement. It's interesting. I look forward to seeing where they take this further down the road, because I think this iteration kind of gets it right. I don't know what else they would do to really upgrade this sort of package any further, because it gets the job done, feels comfy, it looks pretty good. It's got all your bumpers, it's got all your buttons, it's got all your analog sticks. Everything is here. It all works pretty well. And yeah, it definitely gets the job done, and it just holds your phone nice and comfy. It just feels like a different way to experience a controller, essentially, is the biggest thing, It's a better method, I think, for doing the cloud gaming than, like I had said, just strapping your phone onto your controller, which always feels a little sketchy. At least this one, you're kind of, your phone is snugly put in there, and yeah, I think it worked pretty well. So I look forward to, I don't know, possibly taking a look at what else they innovate with down the road, but for now, I'd say the Flex is a pretty good, nice little bump up, and it's going to handle your cloud gaming needs pretty well. So yeah.